Hi, Jason Pilgrim here from the Profitable Practice Podcast, where we help allied health professionals just like you empower and inspire the lives of so many more people by building bigger and better businesses. Let's go and get stuck in right now. G'day guys, welcome to another episode. I have got the amazingly awesome smoking Judy Fox here all the way from Virginia in America. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Great to be here.
Now, as we all know, you are one of the absolute rock stars for organic LinkedIn, hacking,
marketing,
visibility. You are just like Mrs. LinkedIn. I love all the foxes you've got in the background there as well. I love it. And hopefully we've got everything organized with your kids in the background so that they're not hungry anymore like they were a few minutes ago.
That is very true.
Absolutely.
So hungry foxes are currently taken care of.
Fantastic. Love it. Hey, thanks. Let's jump in. It is evening over in the States and morning here for us. So we'll jump in. Really grateful for your time. LinkedIn, let's get stuck in. For me, I feel that it is something that is very much underutilized and leveraged in the health and medical industry. Let me throw you, and none of this has been pre-planned either. So this is why I just wanted to freestyle all of this and go with it. So
see what happens.
Hear your opinions. LinkedIn. Why LinkedIn? Why LinkedIn as a medium, a marketing medium, health, medical, etc.?
There are 1 billion views happening per week, and only 1% to 2% of the accounts are taking advantage of those billions of views that are available. That is a very low percentage of the accounts that are taking advantage of those billions of views. Did I say billions?
Yeah, I did. It was the B, not the M.
That's not happening on YouTube, on Instagram. Those are freaking crowded spaces because everyone else is scared to take action on LinkedIn.
Why do you think that is?
It's a blue ocean.
Why do you think that is?
They use the word professional, and they also have a long history of being a job-seeking, job board type of, I need a job, better go on LinkedIn.
Well, that was its background, right?
That was its background. And I appreciate that about LinkedIn, and LinkedIn still is used for that, but it can be used for way more. And so you're only gatekeeping yourself when you hold yourself back from being on LinkedIn. You're just deciding somebody else has decided something about a platform for you. And why would you do that?
Yeah. And unfortunately, perception is reality for most people. And so therefore they make themselves a decision, hey, this isn't for me. What do you also think about that whole premise that my clients aren't there, or, you know, my targeted niche isn't on LinkedIn type of thing? What do you say to people like that? Is
your client a human being?
Well, okay, we do have like animal physiotherapists and that sort of stuff.
And are your clients human beings, and they're on LinkedIn? Do you think that we talk about each other as human beings? That's probably like one of our favorite things to do, honestly, is talk about each other behind each other's backs, not in a mean way all the time. But I mean, are you constantly, Jason, getting referrals? Having someone
absolutely. And health and medical run massively from that.
So when you think about LinkedIn, it's not always about being visible and getting likes and comments, and that's all nice. I love it. That's super cool. But what it's really about is every time you pop up in somebody's newsfeed, you're top of mind. And so all it takes is doing that on a regular basis all year long. It's like having your billboard on the side of the highway. Why would you not want it there so people think about you? Be on the billboard of the LinkedIn highway.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of interesting is you phrase it that way about like your front of mind, because for our industry, if you go back, health wise with doctors and getting referrals from say doctors and that type of stuff 10 years, say 15 years ago, it was always a big thing about doing doctor's visits, getting out to know them, building relationships. And those things are super important. They still are. But one of the keys was to try and always, there was always that aim 15 years ago to try and get your referral pad on top of the pile on the doctor's desk. And you'd go in and you'd say, next to them, they've got all these piles of X-ray forms and physio forms and EPs and some other specialists. And then there's the pathology, and they're all added all the way up and they're right, a big long pile. And the thing was, you always wanted to be at the top of the pile, because what they'd tend to do is they'd talk to the client or the patient, and then they'd spin around, they'd go straight to the top, they'd take the first one off, that's X-ray, don't need that. Then it's another specialist, don't need that. Then they get to like physio and they go, oh, that's it, I need the physio one. And they just grab what was on top. And so it became that whole top of the pile was where you wanted to be, because they were the first ones you saw. But now obviously it's all electronic, it's all online, it's all drop down manuals and electronic referrals and things like that. So it's interesting that it's the same mentality, right? You've got to be front of mind, and it's that the virtual world of have yourself virtually on top of that pile.
Yes. Have yourself virtually show up when somebody Googles your name. I mean, Google your name right now. Does LinkedIn show up in any of those Google search results? Oh, he's going to actually do it live, happening now.
Did you actually see me reaching for this? Now, I haven't actually done this I did actually do this a couple of months ago. My own website, jasonpilgrim.com.au.
That's good.
Comes up three times with about who I am, my vision about. And after jasonpilgrim.com.au, the very next thing that comes up is linkedin.com. And it actually goes through and talks about me, funnily enough. Then it goes into Instagram and Facebook, and then it has the images
at the top.
So it's kind of important, right?
It is very important, because I have been found, I think, over 4,000 times in search, and people are clicking through because they're finding me in Google search. That's per week, 4,000 times per week.
So you're getting 4,000 searches of your LinkedIn profile every week.
Yes.
Wow. And you know what? We're going to have people listening to this that get that notification from their little app, their LinkedIn app each week saying, look who's viewed your profile. And it's like 18 people have viewed your profile,
It would be amazing to have it be thousands. And what if you built your profile? I mean, we could keep going and going, but what if you thought about your profile just like you thought about your website? And you said to yourself, you are currently probably thinking about your website and saying, I want them to process into this part of my funnel or my system or a phone call, whatever the freaking heck you want. You can make it happen on LinkedIn now. The features on LinkedIn are so much better, and you can literally use your LinkedIn profile like a landing page, a sales funnel.
Absolutely. Now, I've got a couple of good mates of mine with Rana and Andrew McWhirter. They run the Influencer Project, and they're absolute guns in the LinkedIn space like you are. And they're just having a field day over the last sort of probably 2 or 3 years.
It's a fun spot.
This. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is a blue ocean out there, because so many people still have that perception that, one, their targets and their niches aren't on there. And one of the things we do get a pushback with is, my clients aren't actually in there. But when I actually scratch that itch a little bit, I find out that one of their 3 or 4 big areas that they work in is in, say, like a corporate setting. They might have corporate health programs, or they actually work with different insurance companies and workers' compensatory bodies, etc. And they don't stop to realize that is where all of those professionals actually are hanging out and putting themselves out there more than what they do on Facebook, for instance.
And sometimes they're just silently lurking. They don't have to reply. They don't have to like and comment. I have many clients for myself, many clients for my clients' clients. They are not liking and commenting. They're just looking, watching, and replying to the direct messages or doing something. Sometimes they're just moving over to email pretty quickly. Yeah. But they definitely are there. They're active, they're watching, they're hovering, they're looking.
Yeah. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'd love your opinion on, but I actually just feel that's a lot of that is just from that, the serotonin and dopamine hits that people get up in the morning, they look over on their phone, they see Facebook likes and comments and, bits and pieces on Instagram, and they feel all good and well. So when they get notifications from LinkedIn, they still have that, you still want to know what's been said, what's been done, right? Even though it may not be the liking and commenting as prevalent and proficiently on other social media avenues, they are still there lurking and watching.
I know. I definitely feel like we have that movie or the Netflix show that was called The Social Dilemma, where we are being fed information. But here's the thing I tell people about LinkedIn. You can be on LinkedIn and never scroll the news feed. So I don't scroll the news feed.
I don't.
Yeah. And I feel like of all social media platforms, LinkedIn can operate so amazing if you actually don't scroll the newsfeed. And I don't think
Interesting.
people
How so?
realize. So yeah, I don't scroll a newsfeed on LinkedIn.
Right. And so that's the thing. Like, are we getting ourselves into a situation where there's so many platforms that people are in a scenario where they think, oh, it's just something else. It's not top of my priority list. But my question is, can it not be one of the priorities, or should it be one of the priorities?
I think
It's
it
where
is.
eyes are.
It's my priority, and it's a pillar piece of social media content creation, because I find that the world is craving leadership. And if you show up on
Absolutely.
LinkedIn as a leadership voice, you actually can resonate better content out to the rest of the platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I use it quite well with my team, and we get, I get ghostwriting stuff done, and we get all my content done, and I get all of my stuff, put across all the different mediums, different days, times, and that type of stuff. And we have it set up and structured, automated, so that I have people doing that for me. But it's obviously me and my content, but they're just doing all the scheduling. But I actually find it's a lot easier to get general feel of content out there, as in it's a lot easier to get small snippets of information that's out there, that's good, without having to feel like you've got to make it really pretty, with amazing pictures and graphics and videography work for videos and that, which is what Facebook a lot obviously is. 7 times people view moving pictures and videos on Facebook 7 times more than still pictures, and that's 3 times more than written content. So it's a completely different avenue, but it's very, very easy to take small snippets of authority, leadership, help, advice, and etc. in a LinkedIn environment and get a lot better traction for it.
Yeah. And the other piece of advice I would add is show up how you show up best.
Yeah.
Because some people they're still not used to camera, and they're not used to everything. And there are plenty of ways to show up, especially on LinkedIn, especially on other channels. But when I think about LinkedIn, there is text only posts. There are text with pictures posts. There are obviously video, and you can do live video. You can do so many things on LinkedIn. So I don't want anyone to think, whenever I hear that, yes, there are statistics that say one could be better than the other, there are many successful accounts that are just text written posts on LinkedIn, and they're so successful. So
absolutely. So let me do this. Let me throw this little quick curly one before we wrap up, because I want to, we'll obviously cut a few podcasts here at the one time, but we like to keep it nice and short and sharp for our listeners. What would be three quick top tips that you would recommend everyone does for their LinkedIn accounts, etc.?
Step number 1, delete the word professional.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Because mindset matters. And anytime somebody's trying to get on LinkedIn, if I go and do all these other tips, it's not going to matter. You're still going to be like driving up to the LinkedIn gate, and you're going to be like, so you want to delete the word professional. You want to replace it with the word leader. You can be a leader on LinkedIn. You think about anyone in your life that you have ever followed, anyone, your boss, anyone is a leader. It doesn't matter your title. You can be the leader you wish you could see in the world. So Be a leader on LinkedIn.
I love that. And that's a big one for all of our allied health professionals that are listening to.
Delete it. Delete.
That's what we're actually legally called, allied health professionals.
Oh no, don't delete it then if it's legal.
Well, it's one of those things that, like someone might be an exercise physiologist, dietitian, podiatrist, chiropractor, physiotherapist, doctor, etc. But we are termed as allied health professionals. So they can actually, they can still do it.
But when you think about being professional, delete the concept that.
Exactly. So you could be a leader in allied health, or you could be the leading allied health, the leading allied health advisor specializing in, women's pelvic health or something.
Yes. And the next tip,
number 2,
is your profile. We already proved earlier that we can Google our names and find us on the first page of Google above all the other social media platforms. LinkedIn comes up. So make sure that when somebody lands on that LinkedIn account, it is built out to be a landing page, a website. Treat it just like your website. If you need some help, I am here. And then
just Google
just slightly Judy Fox. And then tip number 3 is, instead of thinking about your first post, again, drive up to the gates of doing your first post and then stop again. And instead of making your very
driving a little
first
car
post, I'm constantly driving, obviously. You can't tell. And my steering wheel is really small when I do my example.
Yeah, for those that are listening, though, I didn't get that bit. The little...
Okay. The sound effects on this podcast are going to be hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you drive up to the gates of posting, and you're the highway, the posting highway, and you're like, I'm going to get on the highway. And then you stop and you basically go out and comment. And the reason I'm going to make you comment first is because of two reasons. Number one, that comment will actually get you more visible for when you do make your next post.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just like post and they're like, nobody's here.
No one sees it. No one's here. No one's following.
No one sees it because you're coming in cold and nobody knows who the heck you are. So go out and like and comment on some peers, some colleagues, some friends. Don't worry that they're your ideal client. I only want to get them. Yeah. The thing is, if you want to be seen by them and they may never like and comment, you do need some peers, some colleagues, some friends, some trusted people. And there you go. That's your plan.
Awesome.
You're going to go out and comment.
Delete the word professional, become a leader. Number 2 was optimize your profile, make it all about your website and a landing page and get more visible. And then obviously get out there liking and commenting and engaging more to increase the visibility.
Yes.
Judy, you rock, Miss Fox. Love it. Thank you very, very much for jumping on. Really love your work. Obviously, all the details will be for people to be able to follow you, chase you, hunt you down, help out, and those things will be on the podcast as well. And can't wait to keep rocking with you soon. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Woo.
Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.